Yes, thank you. Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your Thursday night freak show. We're back on Thursday, and boy, do we have a sexy show for you tonight. It's a masquerade party tonight, apparently.
It is.
Yay.
And nobody told me because normally, when girls want me to have sex, they normally prefer me to wear a mask, but that's not what happens. So,
Not true.
to my far left at mask number 1 is my co-host, Nicole Six.
Good evening. This mask's going to have to come off later so I can drink this wine.
But apparently you have a big surprise for me, Nicole. But
Oh. Sorry.
let me introduce the other guests, do the sponsors, and then we'll get to the surprise, okay? You've been partying with rock stars. You in the pit of Mushroom Head. You're partying with the Scorpions. You've been doing a lot of stuff.
My surprise is just a story that I know you'll like.
I love it. But right next to you, this is an international bevy of beauties. You got to see what I'm looking at. I am so aroused right now. Right next to you in mask number 2 is the beautiful Colombian model and entrepreneur and the creator of Gia.
G by Giamore.
G by Giamore. Giamore.
It's
Can't
the G
say it
spot.
like her with that accent. It's
Hello,
so alluring.
Giamore. Speaking of alluring accents, right next to you, Giamore is our old friend who used to have a show here at Skidrow Studios. The sexologist, the sexy sexologist. Everybody loves her. Everybody worships her. Everybody lusts after her. Dr. Lamore Blockman. How are you, Dr. Lamore?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'd love to have you. I
pleasure.
wanted you because we're going to talk about this pheromone-infused cologne, and we're going to get your opinion on pheromones and all
course.
sorts of stuff. We're going to talk about sex all night long, and I think
As
is that
we
okay?
should.
We love sex.
We love sex. We all love sex. I love sex.
We all love sex.
We all love sex. Okay.
Yes.
We also love good food. And if you're
The combination of both. is
It's true.
better.
really no,
Yes.
have you ever been to Doomy's Home Cooking, Dr. Lamore?
I haven't.
It's the most delicious vegan food. You're how
And
long?
I love vegan food.
How long are you in LA, Shia?
Oh, until tomorrow morning.
It
Just
might
for
be
today.
Might be too late. But if you're ever back in LA, go to Doomy's Home Cooking. The most delicious vegan food you ever had. It's at 1253 Vine Street, Hollywood, California, 90038. They have vegan fried chicken. They have vegan Big Macs. They have vegan nachos, which are totally vegan. Were voted one of the 10 best nachos in LA.
Wow.
So go to Doomy's Home
Impressive.
Cooking. You went to Doomy's Home Cooking for your roommate's
Yes.
birthday.
Yep.
She's a vegan and picked
It
up all
wasn't my
sorts of
roommate. It
goodies.
was one of the waitresses at, I work at the Rainbow part-time.
Right.
And one of the girls is very vegan. And I knew the perfect place to get treats. I got her some red velvet cake, some chocolate cake, and some creme brulee. And we
the
all
creme
said hi
brulee
to
is
Phil.
delicious.
It's delicious.
And it's all vegan. Mm-hmm. So, and also, we are sponsored by Audible.com. You should go to darkmarkshow.com. Catch up on the old episodes. We've got them on audio. We've got them on video. You can subscribe to us on iTunes so you never miss a show.
Absolutely.
We have stuff on YouTube on the site you can link to. And also, if you click on the Audible.com button right next to my smiling face, you can get a free audiobook. You're on the road. You must listen to audiobooks all the time.
Yeah.
Free audiobook and a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Perfect.
Just click on audible.com right next to my smiling face. Go to darkmarkshow.com. You get a free book. Now, we're just going to talk about sex, the mother load.
I'm going to have a lot of books about sex, I'm certain.
Sex at dawn, why we mate, why we stray, and what it means for modern relationships. Sex, woman first. How to teach him you come first. The Guide to Female Orgasm by Jean-Claude Carville. Excuse me. That's 8 hours and 10 minutes of how to make a woman come. That's
You
free.
had a few there mixed up, no?
No.
You were talking about Sex at Dawn and then...
No. That was another book.
Oh.
Okay. This is the book I
Because I
recommend.
know Sex at Dawn's
Really?
author.
Okay, so that's a good book. You recommend that?
It's terrific.
Have you read Woman First, How to Teach Him You Come First, The Guide to Female Orgasm? Not
It's
that you
so
need
complex, the name. I'm still like, what?
it. Okay. How about Gotta Have It, 69 Stories of Sudden Sex.
So
Sudden sex.
how you make a woman come?
How do I make a woman come?
Yeah.
This book's
It's a good
my
question.
Slow Sex, The Art and Craft of Female Orgasm. Well, let's get to the sex talk right away. And we'll get to the whole story at some point.
It's all good.
How do I make a woman come? That's an interesting question.
good
Shia.
question,
That's a good
yeah.
question. Well, it depends on the woman, honestly, because I'm very talented with my fingers and I'm very talented with my tongue. But some women like the fingers and some women like the tongue, and some women like a combination of both. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Lamore?
I agree that there's two aspects to it. I agree that one, all women like oral sex.
Yes.
To be the receiver of it.
However, some women don't come from oral sex.
However, many women do not achieve an orgasm from oral sex. Yeah, I do. But it also depends on... It also depends on the partner.
I do. I tell them what to do.
Really
Come up, down, put that tongue there.
Right. Yes. Just hold it right there.
I'm sorry, Dr. Lamore. Go ahead. You were saying.
Honestly, it does depend on the partner. And even with the same partner, it varies.
Right.
You know, not necessarily. And has so many components to if a woman can achieve an orgasm this at that time or...
And sometimes
there's many factors.
You take the finger and you work the clit with your tongue or vice versa. You work it out. You figure it out.
There's many factors to it.
There's the two in the pink and one in the stink. You got that. You got all sorts of stuff.
Well, there's plenty. I think the traditional tip advice for how to kind of thing is not good because I do believe that everybody is such a personal experience.
Every vagina is different.
Every vagina is different. Every mouth is different. Every body is different. And the same body can experience different things at different times.
Because I know women that have gone crazy with the fingers.
Right.
And then with the tongue, good, but they like more the pressure.
Yeah.
That's Nicole. Nicole's right there. and well, I mean, you enjoy the oral, but the finger you like.
I just always think of it as foreplay to me. It's not an actual thing to me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and then some women, the finger's a little too rough, and they like the tongue.
Well, the thing is that you have to keep in mind that the clit is it's the only organ that is actually designed just for pleasure.
Right.
There's no other reason for it. It's just there to be pleasured.
Really?
Particularly, I like with the tongue, not so much the finger, but a transsexual friend told me because I was like, I don't have too much experience with girls. So he told me just get the clitoris and suck the clitoris like it will be like a cock.
I was going to get to the clit
So that's
because the clitoris is in fact like a small penis. It's very similar. It gets erect.
So that's
and everything.
Right.
It's very true.
And trust me, take my word for that. But,
but it is true that it's you need to kind of put emphasis on it.
No, I'm a clit. I was going to get to the clit sucking. It's a whole night long process.
Right, but again, to emphasize on that and then take an advice how to do it, it might not work for some women.
She asked me a question.
Right.
And you see, that's what's intimidating about having sex with you, and I'm picking that right now. Because you know so much.
Damn straight.
You have devoted your life to studying sex.
I did.
And you know so much.
Yes.
So you must have had guys. You must have had to correct guys.
Well, I will never do it within the act because it's really wrong. Yes, because if you want somebody to lose their erection forever, that's what you need to do.
It's a mood killer.
So no, absolutely you don't do that because if you relate to sex, I don't have casual sex. Let's just start with that. I don't believe in casual sex. So, and this is, again, I have to say, what I'm saying works for me. It's not my advice to others. Anybody can do, to each his own. But the idea is if you have a relationship and you have sex with someone, and if you don't engage in casual sex, then your play partner is more of a friend and, someone that you relate to. You don't want to discourage them. You don't want to make them feel like shit. That's not the purpose of it. And it's some sort of a lovemaking.
Right. Because you were saying that she's corrected people.
But not
the proper way to correct someone isn't to correct them at all. It's to compliment what they do right.
Oh yeah. No, not correcting. Just you can give
direction.
No, you can give direction and guide them. No correct.
Although I will say, from a male perspective, sometimes when you do that, we get so focused in trying to do the same thing over and over again that we start messing it up.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right.
All I know is some of the things that I would need to correct involve people using too much teeth in general. And I don't even just mean with that. I mean, some guys kiss with a lot of teeth. And if you are a bad kisser, you don't get to get further than that with me. And how am I supposed to correct something they've been doing wrong probably for 10 years?
A bad kisser is a problem.
No, you are correct. Yes. So I love this. Is going to be, with these accents, I'm going, so Shimor. Shimor. Yes. You are from Colombia.
Correct.
I don't know anything
That's very
about
hot.
I don't. And Latinas and Latinos have this. There's a stereotype about you, of how sexual you are. I remember last time you were on the show, I was saying how I'm very attracted to Jewish women, but Jewish women don't have that stereotype like the fiery Latinas. Like it's just bursting with sex. Really?
Yeah, right. They do too. Israeli.
Yeah,
Israelis, yes.
Yeah, well, as we said, we serve the army.
In America, it's not quite the stereotype.
Yes,
now, Dr. Lamore's changing that, but so how you grew up in Colombia?
Yes, I grew up in Colombia, in the capital, in Bogota.
Okay, so I know nothing about Colombia except cocaine. That's all I know.
Beautiful woman and the sport
beautiful
coffee.
Woman and coffee,
soccer. This last soccer World Cup in Brazil, we did pretty good.
Did you?
Also, yes.
Yeah,
Did you?
I was too busy having sex. I didn't really watch the World Cup.
Is that what happened?
I was sucking on clitorises. Or clitori.
Whatever, yeah.
No,
don't worry
I'm
about
glad. Good. So, sports.
Beautiful
coffee,
woman,
I
coffee.
see that, yeah.
And drugs.
And drugs.
Yes.
I know. So is it worth me a trip going down there?
I think so that you should go to Cartagena, like to the beach.
Oh, really?
You will love it, and all the women will love you.
Actually, all the women probably would love you, Mark.
They will spoil you. Yeah.
So this is encouraging. That's a motivation.
They will tell you, Mark, papi, come here.
They like the gordos down there?
They will love your eyes. They will say,
really?
Papi, Mark, come here. Come with me.
Oh,
and
man.
they will take you.
You see, you're convinced already. You need to book a flight.
I'm on Expedia right now, booking my flight to forget my trip to Denver next month. I'm going to
Forget it. Go to Colombia.
And you'll never see me again. You'll see me in the trunk of a car in Cartagena with a bunch of cocaine all over my face. So when did you move to? Now you've gone all over the world.
Yes, I travel as a model, but first I came here to America how long ago? 10 years ago.
Okay.
And the reason every immigrant in the world for a better life, you know?
And the beautiful blue-eyed man.
Yes.
But how old were you? Were you a grown woman then when you went here? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put that. I didn't want to be rude. But so you were a grown woman and you were modeling and you had some modeling opportunities here in America.
Yes. My mom was at the time here, so I came to stay with her.
Right.
Then she decided to go back, and I decided to stay myself.
Oh, okay.
Go to New York, and then fly to different countries in Europe.
Right. And Israel.
I've been in her country, yes. That's what I know about them.
Interesting.
So the Israeli men are hot too, huh?
Super passionate.
Right?
Yes, and they speak in Hebrew. Yeah,
yes.
they speak in Hebrew.
Is that what it is? Is it the tropical weather?
It's the tropical weather. It's all the mess.
And also in Colombia and Israel, you're dodging bullets all the time. So you got to do.
True.
You got to figure something out.
It's harsh living.
Yeah, so it's like, do I dodge bullets or do I suck on the clitoris? I'm not sure what to do. I'll suck on the clitoris.
Right, it's a better choice.
Right. So
I have been saying that for years. I think there'd be a lot less war if people were less repressed.
Well, that's what last time Dr. Lamore was here, I was trying to get her to get the Israeli army to start shooting ping pong balls out of their vaginas at the Palestinians, and the war would be over like that.
Yes. Actually, I think that would be a whoa.
I've been trying to get Netanyahu to adopt that program, but he's not really. Dr. Lamore, when did you get the tattoo on your breast? Because I don't think that's always been there, has it?
Yeah, it's fairly new, I don't know, a few months.
It's really weird because, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
But,
just see a part of
you're going. What I see is beautiful, but why attract more attention to your breasts?
Well, I always wanted a boob tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like I have 4 tattoos. It's really funny because when I speak to people and when I do all sorts of professional engagements, people always tell me that if you don't speak, nobody would ever think you're a doctor, and I think it's a positive thing.
Right.
Because I don't look like a doctor, and I'm not trying to. Right. So, the fact that I have tattoos.
My proctologist looks nothing like you.
I was like, what's a doctor supposed to look like?
Well, people
have you had a doctor look like this?
You should be more conservative and less kind of like,
hot.
Overt.
Hot. Beautiful, sexy, right?
It's just, it's the funny thing, and I always liked tattoos, even as a teenager.
Well, your parents must be outraged.
About what? About my tattoos?
The whole Jewish tattoo, you can't get married.
No. I was raised secular. Again, you have to keep in mind that I'm Israeli. I'm not only Jewish.
I know.
So the fact that I was raised in Israel is not like any Jewish American girl. here. They're much more conservative.
Right, and happy Passover. I didn't wish you a happy Passover.
Yes, thank you.
I did in the car, but not on air. But
yes, happy Passover.
So you're not Orthodox. You're not.
I'm not. I wasn't. I was raised secular.
Okay.
The only place you can be secular as a Jew is in Israel because you're on the soil, and you don't need to practice anything. This
Really?
is just your country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And this is how I was raised. Of course, you follow holidays and stuff, but I never kept,
we like the days off work. I understand that.
Right, and nothing,
Where in Israel you're from?
Haifa.
Oh,
Originally.
you know that I was in Kirat Chaim.
Okay.
So beautiful.
Okay.
The
God bless you. But
yes.
So you've been traveling the world, modeling and in all sorts of magazines, publications, and now you have come out with a whole line of products.
Yes,
including
there's a few.
Including this.
Look at the beautiful bottle.
The bottle's a great line.
You can smell it here.
Okay,
here this is the fragrance.
So this is this. You can get this at
sure. It has pheromones.
Gmore.com. Now, what place in the world smells the best? I mean, what I mean.
Well, I think like you can put it here.
Oh, the cologne's different
in the shoulder.
Here, Mark, hold that up to the camera too.
Okay.
Oh, this is beautiful. What's the difference between the two?
This one is for the ladies.
Yes.
And that's for the men.
See, now,
perfume and cologne.
See, this is pointy. See, this is like a
nipple,
like a diamond,
like a nipple.
like a nipple.
Yeah,
yes.
and then this is kind of manly like a dick right there.
Oh,
so that's,
there we go.
Okay. So so these are pheromone infused.
Correct.
And you got nominated for an AVN award.
Yes,
for the best product.
Yes, for the outstanding award. Nice. So the perfume came out on July 24, 2014, last summer, and we got nominated after a few months on the AVN for best outstanding product. So it was super amazing, in such a short time. Nice. Yes.
No, I'm curious. What other products were nominated against you?
Oh, the other ones were like the other products that there were outstanding products.
Like butt plugs, dildos.
It was Astroglide that for me is one of the best loops.
Right,
so to be
we don't know about Astroglide.
Yes, to be the new kid on the block and be sitting with the CEO of Astroglide and then the CEO of Jones. I'm like, I'm doing good. Yeah,
that's nice. That is a nice achievement.
If this does as well as Astroglide, you're gonna be a rich woman.
Oh, well, the importance in the concept for me was to connect people. That was the main idea. If you can do something, like if you're a nurse, a doctor, a school teacher, a lawyer, work on the radio,
a comedian.
Anybody can be a comedian. Bring your sensuality out. Anybody can be like a porn star and fuck in bed like a porn star, correct? Be like very sexual. So if you have to put a perfume or use a lingerie or a cologne, do it. Bring that.
Do you really think anybody can be a porn star?
I think so. Yes,
absolutely.
we all have it. We all have it.
I know you three can.
Bring the wine.
Mark,
bring
just work the eyes, use the tie. You're in a suit, man.
I do my best.
Your version, you can do your own version of a porn star.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. But,
by the way, this would be an excellent segue to this story.
Right now, I'm like so hot. I'm getting
Nicole has the story now. We want to hear Nicole's story.
It's short because I'm just going to keep it on point with this.
Yeah.
So you are constantly asking me about my fetishes in general because we're always talking about some sort of fetish on the show.
Right.
And I'm very passionate, but I'm pretty vanilla as far as my tastes go. But I realized when I was at the Mushroom Head concert, I have a thing for masks. I've noticed this before. Because do you know what a carillon is? It's like this really amazing medieval organ thing that this guy plays.
Right.
And he wears this mask. I don't know what he looks like. I don't want to know. I don't know who those people are. The mask itself is the interesting thing.
Right.
And it's a common fetish for a lot of people, but that's definitely something that I think could be explored more.
That's why I do very well at Halloween. They can't even see me, and
so on Halloween you could be a porn star.
Right. There's a lot of clitoris sucking on Halloween. So now?
That's funny.
Here's the thing. Now there are other pheromone infused perfumes on the market and colognes on the market. They have been for a long time. What separates this from the rest of them?
Well, I think that this one, we work going with synthetic pheromones, and it goes straight with your olfactory system that goes to the nerve on the brain. So what is that? It is like nerve zero that it produces a reaction, like a sexual reaction.
Right. And the other pheromones don't do that.
I bet they do, but this one have like a nice fragrance on it.
Right.
Some ones are very strong with pheromones.
Right.
Usually, this one you have like the perfect amount and with a smell, with a good smell.
I mean, did you check out other fragrances with pheromones before you?
Yes, we did like a little research before doing it.
Well, and if you were already on that panel, then that kind of competition, that level, then it must work pretty well, I'm guessing, right?
Right. Oh, no,
yes, I'm not that type of person that I'm going to say like, oh, this is better and because this is bad. No, just...
No, I'm not.
I'm not talking about it being better than other products, but I'm saying if it was up there with Astroglide, it must be efficient.
And what were the other ones? So did Astroglide win?
Well, the scene that we were in the category it was outstanding products. So it was not exactly like perfumes, all perfumes.
No, I understand that. That's why I'm curious what the other products were. It was like dildos, butt plugs.
They were like loops and dildos.
Loops and dildos, loops, dildos, and fragrance.
Fragrance. This one, the new one.
Very nice. So here's why I wanted Dr. Lamore on the show because I always love looking at her and talking to her. Between these accents, I'm just going nuts. You got to see what's happening under this desk. Now, you must have done, because you went
I know that the desk is rising.
It's rising.
Yes.
But just because you Nicole was on the show last time you were on, and I'm not sure how much you know about Dr. Lamore, but you've studied sex your whole life. You went to the #1 sex college in the United States, which is nicknamed Fuck You. And so you must have studied up on pheromones.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so here's my question now. Obviously, and it's obvious to everybody in the studio, and you know, I'm very turned on.
Okay, you're putting out that musk
right now. I must be putting out pheromones naturally, correct?
Okay, so let me just explain the trivial way about pheromones in humans.
Okay.
Because it is known, and I'm not going to go into great length to go into the biological side of it.
Oh, please, we got 29 minutes. Go right ahead.
Right, but the idea is that, of course, everybody knows that there are certain scents that the whole, wild world releases to kind of attract the other sex, or, and mammalians, of course, do that. But the thing is with humans, with our species, specifically and high primates in general, is that because of the mix of other scents and because of, we have less ability with our olfactory methods. The fact is that it's really been questioned if pheromones per se, as we perceive them, work for humans. In other words, do we really release something, whether it is in a form of, something that you can actually scent or something that is just sensed without being, having a scent.
Because animals do.
So animals do. That's
quite certain I have a very heavy pheromone consistency. Particularly, I attract animals. I attract a lot of attention.
Now, the thing is, the
thing is, she sends out too many pheromones.
That we release something. But the question is, if we release something that has to do with sexuality. Now, there is something, and this is a very brief explanation. There's something called the major histocompatibility complex. It's a set of molecules on the surface that actually, among other things that it does, what it does is it affects sexual preference, sexual choice.
The genetic one.
Right.
Yes.
And what happens with that is that it's not necessarily what it shows is that it's not necessarily helping us in finding mates, but it does help us in finding the right mate in terms of avoiding inbreeding, meaning that if you smell a certain way that is not really to my liking, I should go to bed and have a baby with you. Because likely our genes are not going to contradict and we're not going to produce offspring that has problems. So that's what it does do.
Okay.
Now, in terms of other things, attraction, that's still questionable.
Is this why, guys hit on me more than girls? Maybe I'm sending pheromones to the other side? Is that what's going to happen? And if I used your girl perfume on me, or Nicole used the guy perfume, would it totally like?
Oh my gosh! Because I was researching I don't want to go too in depth into this, but remember that I put off the bonding, the oxytocin lowers the decision-making process, and I feel that I am attracted to people who are bad at making decisions in general because they have more estrogen than testosterone in the men. So maybe you might be onto something,
right?
But it's still a question. But there's no doubt that we kind of make a subconscious decision about
right. But have you encountered in your studies pheromone induced perfumes and colognes?
Well, again, as I said, it is a questionable topic.
Right. Has there been research done on this?
Yes, there has. And nothing was that definite.
Okay.
So this is why it's still questionable.
Right.
But the idea is that, we release certain scents
right.
that have influence. For instance, how does a baby find his mother's nipple? There's areolar glands that actually draw the baby to the nipple to suck it. So and that is a pheromone. But it works for a different thing, for a different reason.
And is that why I like sucking on nipples too?
Probably.
Okay. I'm just curious.
But even gay men are attracted to nipples. Everybody's attracted to breasts.
We segregate with the sweat, correct? So when we put that and in a fragrance, of course, that there is certain things that is going to be for attraction.
So tell us some stories. This is the thing. You have some success stories with this. You have some people that have tried this and crazy things have happened.
Well, for me, it works like all the time.
Well, but you're a beautiful woman. Guys are hitting on you all the time. The three of you
no
have...
matter what you put on.
Well, yeah, I think also
the three of you can...
It's the animals that let me know it's more than just me.
The three of you can stop showering for 2 weeks. Guys are going to hit on you.
Yeah, you think so?
It's an interesting topic. I can expand on that after that.
I'll bet you can.
Well, I don't know if it was a pheromones or psychology. The point is producing a song for this perfume, Sweet Poison.
Right.
So we're in the studio in Miami.
Right.
So I have to go, and the musicians stay there, and there was some girls come and be with the musicians, blah 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 blah.
Oh, now you're talking Nicole's language because she likes rock stars.
So then they were in the studio. I left, and they told me this girl. They said, "Oh, I splashed the perfume," and the girl is there. I'm flirting with one of the musicians. At the end, what they said is that the girl and the boy, after a little while, she was let me see, and she wants to sneeze. Let me see the perfume. She wasn't sure about it. After 15 minutes, they were having sex outside the studio in the car.
Wow.
True story. So I don't know if it's the pheromones or they were super horny or she wasn't mad.
The result is the same result, which is good.
But in your experience, now, and I was kidding about, I know you three get hit on a lot, but do you find that you get hit on more with the perfume?
That's what I created, yes. Of course it works. Right. For me, it works. Right. There is studies done of pheromones. If not, there will not be an industry right now. So, yes.
How do you get the pheromones?
Oh, we have a special lab that we work with.
I mean, is it...
These ones we are using synthetic ones.
These are synthetics.
Yes.
And...
Yes.
And are there other success stories besides yourself and the girl that fucked a rock star? What about guys? Have you had any guy success stories?
Well, that was the girl put the perfume and they ended up with the guy. Yes, I have the people that works with us. They said that there is stories all the time.
Really? Because I'm gonna be wearing this.
I have a friend.
And report to base.
A friend that we were the other day and he went to a date, and he's a gay guy, and he said that is his amulet. I don't know, amulet for black before going to a date to use the cologne.
Right.
So he gets lucky that night. So yeah.
It sounds like instant sex.
Yeah. Yes. You should do. Yeah.
Well, I'll spray around right now. Why not?
Let's jump on top of
that. We're suddenly more attracted to you.
Hold on.
Ooh la la. Look at him. Oh my God, I'm dying.
It is a nice scent.
Come here, baby.
Hold on.
It's very good.
Now, wait a second.
I like this scent. Yeah.
I'm glad.
It's really nice.
Now, and is it because it's a nice, and it is a nice fragrance? I like that. It's a real nice light fragrance.
So I know a little bit about
kind of
pheromones too. So you should spray it in places you sweat, the wrists, the neck. Pulses.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to use it all
Pulses
up.
are the best.
But not just on your torso. That doesn't do nothing.
I sprayed it on my wrist, just being.
I also want to say say that there's a big factor of placebo effect, which everybody knows about. So if we feel sexual, we are going to be sexual.
Well, and that also, the real hormones that you would be producing, you might be putting out the pheromones anyway, because you would be aroused yourself and putting it out there.
Right. So
your cheeks might flush, all the signs of attraction would be on your face. Those little eyes, there's a brightening effect that'll happen.
Is that what's happening right now?
I don't know. It's too soon.
I know, because I thought she was flirting with me for a second there. Love is in the air.
That's how turned on again by science.
Love is in the air. Love is in the air.
Yeah. It's a good thing that they are synthetic, actually, because the natural ones don't necessarily smell that good.
Yes.
No, this is hold on 1 second. Let me.
He's like, I want to get in there closer.
Yeah, here. Smell that. Okay, you two can go, and we'll be. But it's okay.
Well, that would be something.
The doctor is going under the table right now. Oh my God!
I'm gonna smell it, but in general, you'd have to be my type for me to be attracted to you. It's very nice, though.
It is very nice.
It does give you a sort of. There's a sort of heady thing in there. You can tell there's something else in there besides perfume.
You don't have to give me the disclaimer, Nicole. I know you're not going to follow me. It's okay.
That's not the point. I was saying that in general, it's still only going to make you more attractive to people who are already interested in people who would be of your similar.
So, Nicole, are you going to be with Mark tonight?
Mark knows that I only date men who kind of look like women.
No, she's into androgynous rock stars. Androgynous skinny rock stars.
Okay.
And that seems to be the thing, and that's why I need to go to Colombia, because that seems to be.
I think you do great in Colombia.
I think with the cologne, you don't have any problem. With that beautiful eyes that you have, and with my cologne. You're gonna rock, baby.
Now you have not only these products. You have
we have candles and we have chocolate.
Oh, chocolate! That's a genius Valentine gift.
Yes, and you know that we are putting it on. There is an upcoming movie like in oil wrestling for Hustler, so it's coming out on. Yes, it's coming out on September.
I thought you were going to say it was in the Avengers.
An upcoming movie. Oil wrestling.
It's not Fast and the Furious. It's the oil wrestling from Hustler.
Yes, two girls, a lesbian action. So what they do is like they spray.
Please tell us more.
They spray the perfume and before they start playing, and then we see the reaction of how you have the reaction in different people. It can be two women, two men, men with women. You know how they react.
Be careful with this because you may get a little more than you can handle.
Slippery. Things get slippery.
Do you have the name of that oil wrestling movie?
It's coming. I can't reveal it, but it's coming in September with Hustler.
Yes, it'll be coming.
The coming, no pun intended, I will be cruising the oil wrestling department of the
Hustler.
Of the Hustler, yes. But the chocolates, do they have pheromones too, or is they just like chocolates?
The chocolates don't have pheromones. The chocolates are aphrodisiac, you know?
Right.
Like I did it in a way, like, you know, like when you're having sex and after you put the perfume or the cologne and you're having sex, and then you get if it's good sex, and then you get a little hungry. It doesn't happen to you, and then you have like something good.
No, it never happens to me. I never get hungry.
You're not gonna eat like a sandwich, you know, in the middle. Okay, wait a second. Let me have my sandwich. You're not gonna eat a sandwich, but if you have a little chocolate that will give you energy, like a milkshake with an almond, is the perfect, and it's also the perfect gift.
And we know we know what to do with candles.
Yes,
we know all about that.
Yes,
I love to hear you talk about sex all day, both of you. Oh my God!
Sorry.
Yes.
No, but you're a sexually charged woman.
I am. Like, I'm talking and I'm moving. Yeah.
And you thought of everything, because now that, you know, the man's got the cologne, the woman's got the cologne, and you want to make sure that they'll have the candles in the bedroom and the chocolates.
Yes, it's the trifecta, as I said.
And I mean, and so how do you go from being a model? Look at that, Nicole's like.
Get in there.
Oh.
It's getting hot in here.
Nicole, is that from last night?
That's from the
Take your clothes off.
Anyway, Nicole distracted. See, the perfume must work because I'm talking to you.
Yes.
And then she distracted me with her pheromones.
Honestly, it's going to be so much worse.
I see Nicole that she's transforming and she's becoming more and more sexy and sexy and sexy.
She's paying more attention to me.
Yeah, it's working.
Mark, I always have to look at
you guys, I'm a genius.
You are a genius. Well, I was going to say, how do you go from being a model to I want to do fragrances and cologne and everything else?
Well, like I told you, like I always traveled the world. So like when I was in Paris, obviously there is perfumes everywhere. And then
because they don't shower over there.
That was how it started.
Well, they're the
That's
biggest producers of perfumes.
No, I know.
But Mark's absolutely correct. Paris originally smelled terrible, and that was how perfume was born.
Yeah, they're very good on it. And then I was in Italy, and then you realize, like, the same way, like, you have, like, you're wearing red, and me, and the way you dress, it creates a reaction in people. Also, the way that you smell. So I said, let's go to do something like it will connect people, like what I said earlier. So that's what I came with the idea. And I always love fragrances. So that's how the concept came out.
Right. And
and I'm going to bring the doctor back in on this. Red is one of the colors that scientifically draws the eye in, and it does make you more aroused. It also makes you more angry. And scent triggers memory and arousal.
Right.
You can
true.
go
and it does
more in
work
science.
both ways with red. It's true. This is why putting a red flag in front of a bull is not a good idea.
Right.
But
like Tauruses.
Right. Yeah, but it's true that red, they show in research, in studies, that women during their ovulation tend to wear bright colors. Red, for instance, is one of the colors of choice for women that ovulate because subconsciously you're looking for a sperm donor.
So she is
also, I've noticed the girls are touching their hair more, so the pheromones are technically working.
Right, but again, it's a part of, because humans are such a complex animal,
right?
Then we can't relate it only to this part, which still, is very valuable in other lower animals.
And let's be honest, women are more complex than men.
Of course. And it's a good thing.
Yeah, we're designed that way. We only got those 5,000 eggs. You guys got tons.
It's true. We need to keep them.
We got to be selective.
True.
And so you actually, I saw that you put, because I'm always following you and what you're doing. And,
I'm glad.
How you're looking and everything else. But you put in, you were, doing a poll, 25 to 64-year-old men.
Right.
If they had questions, you would answer them.
Oh,
right.
Do we have color?
And I asked anonymous questions for men.
Right.
With everything they ever wanted to know about relationships, women, and sexuality.
Right.
I got tons of questions, and you asked me in the car.
Right.
Were they specific? How do you have good anal sex? I said no. You know what? Yeah, there were a few of those, but they were so basic. Men are completely at a loss at how to deal with women. They have no idea.
Are more of your clients men or women?
Men.
Men. Okay.
Yeah.
But the questions were not, the questions were not stupid. They were just really
they were
basic
very
questions.
Intelligent, very deep questions, but very basic questions that you would think that men would know, but they don't. And it comes to a certain point.
Do you have an example of that?
Well, just plain relationship-wise.
Right.
A lot of things that they don't know, how do I keep my partner happy if this happens? Or something like, a lot of things that they don't dare ask because they're afraid
they know
of being
they're simple.
judged.
Yeah, and they figure they should know.
To their relationship and their sexuality.
Absolutely. Okay. And a lot of other technical questions. For instance, one that I liked very much, it's going to be a product, so I don't want to say too much.
Ooh.
But one of them was, and I remember it specifically, one man asked, a few of them, but one in specific asked, how do women feel? What does a female orgasm feel like? And how do women react physically after? And what maintains it? How
he wants to know she's faking it.
How do you really discern from a woman that continues on having multiple climaxes?
Right.
Or how do you know if a woman is able to do this or not as a woman?
Right,
yourself?
right. Unless their nose bleeds, which has happened to me.
No, I have to eventually stop you because I'm sore. That happens a lot.
So a genuine question from a man that, obviously climax is very different for males and females.
Right.
And they were actually very interested in genuinely know how women feel after they...
How
do you feel? How do you feel after an orgasm?
Awesome.
Well, again, yeah.
It's a very nice... It's actually a spiritual experience. You get lifted out of it.
It is a spiritual experience. Well, it can be, and it can be moderate. It depends. Again, on the climax. It varies.
Because I faked orgasms myself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Men do.
Especially if you're wearing a condom, it's pretty easy.
True. And it's very, you remember, I don't know if you remember on Seinfeld, You know, if it's enough already, and you just want to get some sleep.
What is the fun about it?
No.
Yeah.
This is not the.
It's not about the fun, but it's about keeping your partner
and plus,
happy.
in the party scene, sometimes people drink a little too much or do things that don't make you perform well.
No. Just the opposite. Just the opposite. I will let you know that, and it varies from woman to woman, but on general, I last a long time in bed, a long time. So a lot of times women have had their multiple orgasms.
Yeah.
And I can tell that Nicole said, they're getting a little sore and they're sort of losing interest. And I just you
just want to keep the other party happy.
Right. It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen. It happens rarely, but once in a while.
Well, and there's a lot of reasons for it.
But it is, again, it's the unknown.
Communication is the key.
It is key, right. But it's something that is unspoken, that men do fake orgasms as well. It's very true.
And some guys, they just take longer than the average girl to get off. And that's things I don't think people discuss, but particularly in my scene with the substances.
Except on the Dark Smart Show, we discuss it. Now, you two have traveled all over the world. Who are the best lovers? Americans?
I love the North. I love the North.
You love who?
I love the North.
She loves them all.
Yes, I don't have any problem.
Right.
I love them.
Who are the best lovers?
And Lamore, who are the best lovers?
I think, look, I can't be specific because I find that a lot of men that come from, it takes more than their nationality.
Because most women I meet from other countries, they're like, American men are the best.
No.
That's so not.
No, that is not true. That is not
true. That
could
never happen.
But to be fair, though, when I'm going to just be honest with this, it's for women anyway. If we have that genuine connection with you, when you're in love, that's actually the best sex.
Of course.
That's true. But the reason I don't think American men are the best is because I relate to this society. And again, I part this society from different Western societies because it is different.
Right.
But the American society is a frat society, I call it. It's like a fraternity.
Right.
People like to score. There's no real interest. As I would look at it, Americans are are sprinters. And, other Western societies are marathon runners.
Now, in your the survey you took from 25 to 64-year-olds,
yes,
in America, I'm assuming.
Well, all over the world.
All over the world. Okay.
Yes, I get people from Spain. I get people from Brazil.
Did a lot of the Americans surprise you that they were not sprinters, that they were marathoners, that they did want a relationship?
Yes, but they don't act on it, some of them.
And also,
we work so much more, too, though. I think that the constant need to work, like in this town, everybody is working. It's a working town, and they have a lot of options. And so I think people just don't try as hard as they should. And what they don't realize is that connection is what makes sex great. Right. Anybody can have good, quick sex, but if you want to have, I would love to have sex once a week with one person who was just really great at it. Right. I don't even say I want a relationship. I would just like that.
There you go.
At that level.
There you go.
He's coming up.
You guys.
I think you're absolutely right.
Look at her. She's flushed. Look at her.
She is.
It's working.
Yes.
All three of you are flushed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was the cutest thing.
In here. I mean, I noticed they're working. Like I said, the girls are touching their hair more. We're all more relaxed.
You're just
I'm also
your hair.
drinking a lot of wine.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Last time I saw Dr. Lamore, I was on your show, what you had here at Skidrow, Sex and Dippity.
Yes.
And we had the whole show was about that I had sex right before the show, so some of my problems.
Yes.
And which have been resolved.
Good. I'm glad.
No, I had sex with a woman who had never had an orgasm during sex.
Right. I have a friend who I wouldn't ever mention, but when I heard that, I was so sad. That's the saddest thing I can imagine.
Anyway,
so common.
Anyway, we worked through that, and with Dr. Lamore's advice, we got through it.
I'm so glad.
But anyway, it didn't end nicely. But you were talking about penis size,
right?
And you are not a size queen.
No.
Nicole 6 is.
What?
Penis size.
Oh, but in a different way. I don't really
like
want
big dicks.
No, I don't.
Really?
You see, you just
don't
making
you remember
it up.
I don't want to discuss this, but I'm built different.
No, I understand that, but you
now I said that, I have to discuss it.
You seem to be always talking about the big dicks.
It's like a mystery.
No, in the other way, I can't do too big.
No, see, she's.
Yummy.
No, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Scientifically speaking, some women have extra tissue, which is sensitive and awesome, but we cannot handle that.
We don't have to talk about that on air. But
so, and by the way, it's really nice because I never have bad sex as a result, but I have to be picky about like some things I just can't handle.
Right. Now, do you have
he's
other
dropping
products?
his fences. You're gonna have to go.
It hasn't happened yet. There have been some times where it's
challenging.
Yes. For me, the size, I like it how depends how they move. You know, the size is not so important.
But
they move.
So you gotta like rotate it and stuff like that. So it's not like it's not just like a straight in and out. You like a little salsa action?
Yes. Bachata.
Now, do you have other products that you're gonna? I mean, this is obviously a big success.
Thank you very much.
And it's a big success tonight because I don't know what's going on. There is something in the air. There is something in the air. I've never been more attractive in my life. And I've never made the women like you two giggle like this ever. It's really strange. But giggle with me, not at me. But are there other products that you're going to do down the line that you're thinking of?
Well, we're thinking like on the process, you know, like little by little. First, I want to come out with the sun. The sun is for me so important. Sweet Poison. So it goes with a commercial, with the perfume. And then on the way, we'll see how we do, like maybe with a lingerie.
Lingerie, I think, would be a good line. And please not only go to
gmorgifts.com,
but gmorgifts.com because there's a lot of stuff on there.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, please go to gmorgifts.com or follow me on Twitter at gmor69.
Right, but I mean, there's a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. I like the little videos that you have to promote the colognes, and that's very interesting, hot stuff that you got going on there.
You like it?
I like it. I like it. And that's what you said you were working on a product so guys want to know how a woman is having an orgasm. What kind of product do you have? What, are you going to have like a meter or something? Or, I mean, how are you going to figure
No, it's not only about how a woman has an orgasm. It's about knowledge.
Right.
As I am a researcher, and what I do is scientifically based, I do want to provide answers to men about women and about sexuality because there's a big lack of it.
Oh, there really is.
Yeah.
No, I know, because every time I see you, I've got tons and tons of questions for you. And go ahead, Nicole.
Honestly, I was just going to say, though, if you just keep your eyes open and you watch her face, you'll be able to know.
Really?
I mean,
but if you're down there, you can't watch her face. You're busy down there.
Different. That's different. But I meant if in the middle of actually having sex and you're looking at her face, first off, her eyes are probably closed and she's really enjoying it.
She's probably not looking at you. Looking at her face.
Well,
it's so
that's
much
a different
deeper
thing too.
than that. You know, it's the basic idea of how to have a good relationship.
Yeah. And I mean, communication. I mean, that's very important.
A lot of factors come
work
into
it to
play.
work it. You know, you have
use
to
your
put
hips.
both sides. You know, like you cannot be lying like this. No, you have to participate.
To
both
be
of
a
them.
good lover takes a lot. It's really something that you need to work at.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what would be exercise number one if I wanted to? The best lover I can be. What would you? I see. There's something in your look. I can tell you are a wonderful lover.
According to Cosmo.
Fuck Cosmo. See, tell me what I need to do to be a wonderful lover.
Just talk in my neck, like in my neck, in my ear, and then with my neck, like put your tongue around my neck, and start like that, and then go down with your hands and touch my nipples.
Right, she's touching her nipples right now for people on iTunes.
Yes, I'm like that. I'm very demonstrative.
Right. And by the way, very impressive.
And every girl has different erogenous zones, so just explore a little.
Right.
Get to know the girl before you go to have sex.
All of it.
I mean, crazy thought.
So you're saying instead of just grabbing some titty or some hiney,
woo,
nuzzle the neck and the ears a little bit.
All of it is true. I want to
arm.
say that to top off the fact that everybody's a different lover.
No pun intended.
And yes. But I think the main idea of becoming a good lover is to be selfless.
Right.
In bed.
So true.
That's the number one thing. If you keep her in mind before yourself, you're a good lover already.
I always do. But sometimes, like I say, sometimes I get stuck in my own head.
Yeah.
Well, that's just, you got to separate from
I want to ask this question. What did the doctor do first? You, when you are really in love or with your partner, what do you do?
What do I do first in bed?
Yes, the first things you do to a guy.
I do to a guy. Well, it really depends on the guy.
Well, you can demonstrate on me.
But well, you're wearing the right cologne.
Look at you. Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah.
I'm here demonstrating.
Yeah, baby.
We actually have a call. Did you want to finish that? Or?
Yeah, so I'm saying it really depends on the lover. And I think that from my experience with everyone, it was so different that there's not anything in specific that I would say, that I would do.
So it depends on the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But starting with nuzzling with the neck and the ears, that's always a nice thing to do.
Yeah,
yes.
That was a nice thing.
And ladies out there, just make sure you Q-tip. Anyway, so we've got a caller.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 minutes into the show, so we're going to keep this real brief. But who's calling?
How you doing? This is Juan.
Hi, Juan. How are you?
Hi, Juan.
I'm okay. I'm a big fan of you, Dark Mark.
Oh, thanks, Juan.
Yeah. So all
right, Nestor, let's cut him off. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, so thanks, Nestor.
Love the
Anyway, so Dr. Lamore, you were talking about how
no pheromones
you were talking about that's Nestor Rodriguez. He has the show after me, and
yes, hi, Nestor.
He's probably gonna ask both of you to be on the show soon.
Good. Could I just say a good lover is not a lot of work. A good lover just needs a big tongue. Okay?
I know he's doing a bad Ricky Ricardo accent. He says a good lover doesn't take a lot of work.
Oh, is Nestor teaching the masses?
Nestor's teaching him how to be a good lover. Nicole's listening right now.
All you need is a good tongue. That's it.
All you need is a good tongue? Some women don't like the tongue. They like the fingers.
Dancing in your socks.
Some women just like, yeah.
Some women just like the dick. Jesus,
yes, please.
Well, thank you, Nestor. Please, everybody, if you're listening live, stick around. 9 o'clock, Nestor Rodriguez, the Stories Public Radio. It's like a bunch of guys in Spanish Harlem talking shit in a barbershop. It's hilarious. It's hip-hop. It's air horns.
It is funny.
It is very funny. Anyway, we got 22 seconds left. By the way, I will be performing tomorrow night, if you're listening to this live, at the Clown House downtown. Go to gothcomedian.com, facebook.com, gothcomedian. Dr. Lamore, how do people get a hold of you and really get their sexual
life in order?
Yes, my sexual life in order. How do I do that?
Yes, you should go to my site, drlimor.com. So it's drlimor.com, and send me your inquiries. I'll try to answer.
And also go to Smut Diaries.
Yes, definitely smutdiaries.com.
If you need some advice on what to do with your lover, go to Smut Diaries.
You should, just to get aroused. It's like a pheromone.
No, trust me. I got aroused plenty this week going to your website and also going to Giamore.com.
Giamorgifts.com.
And Giamorgifts.com.
Giamorgifts.com.
That's Giamoore. And that's obviously a pseudonym.
Giamorgifts.com.
That's obviously a pseudonym.
She admits nothing.
Yeah, that's not
Let
your
her
real
have
name.
her mystery. She has a mask.
Yes, she does have a mask. And also go to Nicole6.com and read some scary stories.
Some of them do have masks.
She is a horror writer, and she loves wearing masks. And this has been a great show. Where did the time go?
We're all going to the restroom.
Oh, yes, I'm going to have sex with all 3 of these girls in the restroom. And Nestor's going to teach me how to do it. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye.